All right, good morning. Welcome. So we'll start in a seated position. So arrange yourself in a comfortable seat. You might be cross legged or you might be sitting in a different way. Just make yourself comfortable and then allow your eyes to close as you start to check in with your body, noticing how you feel today. As always, being aware that if anything doesn't work for your body, just skip that pose. You can also leave comments if you have questions about how to modify or change certain poses. And then we'll bring our palms together in front of the heart. As we inhale, reach the fingertips up toward the ceiling. As we exhale, reach the hands out and down. Spread your fingers wide as they release toward the floor. And then turn the palms back up as you inhale and reach up. Palms come together. Exhale the hands down to the heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale out and down. Inhale out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, one more time, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Now interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. Start to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, gently tugging on your fingers to give the inside of each wrist and palm a little bit of a stretch. All right, separate your hands, take them behind your back. Interlace the fingers there, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open up across the chest. Gently turn your head from side to side. And then reach the chin up and drop it down. Again, lifting up and dropping down. And then once more lifting and dropping. All right, bring your head back up to center. Release your hands to come and rest on your thighs. And then shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. Again, shrugging up, back, and down. And then once more up, back, and down. All right, so we'll take the right hand down to the floor, walk it out a little bit. Left hand comes to left shoulder and start to rotate. So left elbow draws a big circle in space. All right, change direction. Same arm, opposite way. All right, take the left arm up alongside your head. Reaching with your hands, squeeze and release the fingers a few times, as well as rotate through the wrist a few times each way. All right, with your next in breath, lift up. And with your out breath, left hand comes to the floor, walk it out. Lean into it, right hand to right shoulder. And again, start with rotation. A couple times in one direction. And a couple of times the opposite way. All right, then right arm comes up alongside your head. Reaching with the right hand, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. A few times each way. All right, as you next inhale, lift up. And exhale, release your hand down. All right, so we'll shift onto our backs. And so as you come down onto your back, just start with your knees bent, feet resting on the floor, and then start to sway your knees side to side. Make sure your feet are wide enough that when your knees are dropping side to side, your legs aren't bumping into each other. So it's helpful to take your feet wider than your hips. All right, and then gradually come to stillness. Take your left knee into your chest, give it a gentle squeeze, move it a little bit from side to side. Start to rotate through your left ankle, wiggle and move the toes. Rotate both ways. And then we'll shift the rotation into the left hip. So just release the arms. And then with your left knee, draw a big circle in space. All right, and then change directions. All right, then the next time that your left knee comes in toward your chest, catch it again with your hands. This time, pick your head up. Bring your forehead near your knee so you're gently rounding your back a little bit. And then release the head back down to the floor. Cross your left knee over toward the floor on the right. So just fully roll onto your right hip so your hips are stacked, and then send that left arm back over to the left. So left hand and left knee are starting to melt in opposite directions. You can also experiment with how high you take your left arm, see what's interesting for your left shoulder. Sway the head a bit side to side, see what's comfortable for your neck, and then start to allow the body to be heavy, fully supported by the floor and any yoga props you might be using to help support your body. Check back in with your breath, feeling it flow in through the nose, expand the chest, the ribs, the belly, the back, and then flowing back up and out again through the nose as you soften, relax, and let go. All right, after your next breath, we'll ease that left leg back to center, keep the knee bent, and just drop your left knee out to the left side so that your left foot can meet your right leg. Similar to a tree pose, but you're laying on your back. All right, let the left leg stay where it is for the moment. Walk the right foot in. And then we'll cross the left ankle over the right thigh. So, left ankle, right thigh. Bring the legs into the chest. Grab hold of whichever leg is most comfortable to grab. So, you might be taking your left hand through the hole that your legs make to grab a hold of your right shin. Maybe you're grabbing behind the knee. If it doesn't work to grab the right leg, you could just grab the left leg. So this is the one we're sort of focusing on here with this left ankle cross. There is sensation in the left hip that we're creating. So legs are coming in toward the chest. Rock a little side to side. All right, one more round of breath. And then straighten your legs up toward the ceiling. Let your left ankle be crossed on top. And then we'll interlace our fingers. Take the hands behind the head and elbows resting on the floor. And then as we inhale, begin to lower the legs toward the floor. Stop at whatever point you need to stop as you're lowering. Then, when you're ready to exhale, pull your legs back up. We'll do that twice more. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. One more breathing in and breathing out. All right, release your feet down to the floor. Again, step them wider than your hips and sway the knees side to side. All right, release your hands from behind your head. Take the right knee in toward the chest. Give it a gentle squeeze. Move it a bit side to side. Rotate through the ankle. Wiggle and move the toes. Rotate both ways with your ankle. And then shift that rotation into your right hip so you release your arms so that now your right knee can draw a big circle in space. All right, change directions. All right, and then the next time that the right knee comes in toward the chest, go ahead and catch your leg once again. Pick your head up. Forehead comes toward the knee as you round your back a little bit. And release the head down to the floor. Cross the right knee over toward the floor on the left. So you're rolling fully onto your left hip, so your hips are stacked. And then take that right arm back over to the right. And again, you can play with the angle of the arm, take it high, take it low. See what's interesting for your shoulder. Right hand and right knee are now moving in opposite directions. Gently sway the head a bit side to side. See what's most comfortable for your neck and head. And start to relax the facial muscles, the jaw. Even allow the eyes to be relatively still in their sockets. All right, take one more round of breath here in the twist. And then guide that right leg back to center. Keep the knee bent. Drop it out to the side so that your right foot meets your left leg. Pause a moment, letting that right leg be heavy. And then we'll walk the left foot in, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, right ankle, left thigh, and bring the legs into the chest. Reach through for whichever leg is most comfortable to grab as you rock a little bit side to side. So, again, maybe the right hand comes through the hole that your legs make and you grab hold of that left leg. Or if that's not comfortable, just hold on to the right leg. Either way, rock a bit side to side. Right, and then from here, straighten both legs up toward the ceiling, but let your right ankle be crossed on top. Interlace the fingers. Again, hands behind the head and elbows resting on the floor. We'll do 5 this time. As you inhale, start to lower your legs. Again, stop whenever you need to stop in terms of difficulty. And then exhale as you pull your legs back up. Again, inhale to lower, nice and slow. Exhale to lift. All right, 3 more. All right, last one. Again, release the feet to the floor, step them wider than your hips, and sway your knees side to side. All right, release the hands from behind the head, turn over onto your front, walk the arms forward so the elbows come underneath the shoulders. Start to press down into your forearms as you lift your heart and reach it forward. And then we'll turn the head side to side. And as we do, as you're turning your head to the right, bend the right knee and pull the heel in toward the hip. So you feel the back side of the leg engage and a little bit of a stretch across the front of that right hip and thigh. And then switch sides, release the right leg, turn your head to the left, bend your left knee, hug the heel in. Again, look for that stretch in the front of the thigh and the engagement in the back of the left leg. Again, switch over to the right. And switch over to the left. Now, one more to each side, over to the right. And over to the left. Right as you release that left leg, lower your chest down to the floor. Press yourself up onto hands and knees. As you come to hands and knees, we'll start with hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And then inhale, drop the belly, lifting your head and your tailbone. Exhale as you tuck the tail round the back. Bring your chin toward your chest. Again, with your inhale, belly drops. Head and tail lift up. And exhale, tuck and round. Just go at your own pace. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, we'll tuck our toes under and then lift up into downward facing dog. So taking your hips up and back into the air. And drop one heel toward the floor as you bend the opposite knee. And switch back and forth. One knee bent, one leg a little bit straighter. As you start to connect with the back of each leg, each foot, each hand, up into each shoulder. All right, and then release down to your knees. Step the right foot forward to the right hand. Lift your torso up. Take the left hand to your right knee, and then sweep your right hand forward and up, and back and down, rotating through your shoulder several times. All right, one more full circle. And then hands to the floor, step forward, coming into your forward fold. Let the knees bend a little bit, release the weight of your head. Give it a shake out, yes and no. All right, deep breath in, lift up halfway so you straighten your legs. Let the hands come up near the knees, elongate the spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, bring your hands to the floor, walk your feet back. Again into downward facing dog. All right, and then release down to your knees. And sit back towards your feet. Pause a moment, allowing the spine, the torso to round, either over your thighs or between your thighs if you take your knees wide apart. See which way is more comfortable for you. And we'll take 3 cycles of breath. All right, after that third round of breath, come back up onto hands and knees. This time, the left foot forward to the left hand, lifting the torso up. We'll take the right hand across to the left knee and then sweep the left hand forward and up and back and down, rotating through the shoulder. All right, take one more big circle. All right, both hands to the floor. This time, left leg back. And then with the hands back underneath the shoulders, reach your right leg back in space, lift it up about the same height as your torso, and then bend your right knee. So the right foot is facing up. And then with that right foot, start to kick the ceiling. So you're engaging the back of the leg to create this movement of kicking up toward the ceiling. And then let that right leg straighten out. Cross it over the left leg, drop the toes. You might spin your fingers out here as you now curve the spine to the left, peeking back at your right foot. All right, and then bring your torso back to neutral. We'll step the right foot to the right hand once again, but widen the lunge this time. So scoot your left knee back a little bit. Take the right hand up to the right thigh. Now, your left hand might be down on the floor as a flat palm. You might come into a fist if it bothers your wrist to have that much weight in it. You could also put a block underneath your left hand for a little bit of elevation, which kind of shifts some of the weight out of the hand. But just let yourself twist towards your right leg. Turn your head to look back, and we'll take 5 breaths. All right, after your 5th breath, release back to hands and knees. Take that right leg back. Tuck your toes one more time up to downward dog. This time from downward dog, inhale and rock forward into plank pose. So take your shoulders over your wrists. Engage from your feet to your head. Exhale and shift back into downward dog. All right, release down to your knees. This time reach the left leg back in space, so lifting it up about the same height as your torso, and then bend your left knee so your foot is facing up. And then start to kick the ceiling repeatedly with that left foot. So you feel the back side of the leg engage. And then we'll straighten out the left leg, cross it over the right leg, drop the toes. Spin the fingers out, curve the spine to the right, peeking back at your left foot. Sensing all the way up the left side of the body. All right, and then bring your torso back to neutral. Step your left foot forward to your left hand once again. This time widening the lunge, so slide that right knee back. Right hand is down on the floor as a palm or as a fist. Or if you have a yoga block, you put it right underneath your hand to shift some of the weight off of that arm. Left hand comes to left thigh as you gently twist toward your left leg. All right, take 5 rounds of breath. All right, after your fifth round of breath, again, come back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Lift up to downward dog. All right, inhale, rock forward into plank pose. Last time. Exhale, shift back to downward dog. All right, release down to your knees, untuck your toes, and sit back towards your feet. One more time into child's pose. Again, your knees might be pretty close together, or you might take them wide apart for a little easier breathing. We'll take 5 cycles of breath. All right, after your fifth breath, gradually bring yourself back up into your seated position. And we'll conclude today's practice with a breathing practice called alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana. And you use your right hand. Bring your second and third fingers in towards your palm so that you have your thumb and your ring finger to block your nostrils. And then take that right thumb to the right nostril. And then you'll inhale through the left side. Close it off, open the right, and exhale. Inhale, right side. Close it off, open the left, and exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. And exhale, left. And then just release your hand. Let that whole right arm and shoulder relax. And let go of any tension or gripping. Bring your attention back inside your body, noticing how you feel in this moment, if there have been any physical or energetic shifts for you in this short practice. All right, we'll join our palms in front of the heart. As we bow to the light within ourselves, we also bow to the light within each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May we know peace. Thank you again for joining. Have a wonderful day. See you again next time. Bye-bye.